Good day, everyone. This is Dr. Olufumilola Adetayo Obaki of the Department of Architecture, University of Ibadan. I am here to present this conference paper titled Causative Factors of Abandoned Urban Housing Projects and Strategies for Revitalization in Ibadan, Nigeria. My co-authors are Samuel Kehinde Afolami and Associate Prof. Oluwafemi Kehinde Akonde. Statement of the research problem. Yes, failed and abandoned projects are increasing in the built environment and possess costly problems in the environment. Here in Nigeria, and that is West Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, the menace of abandoned building projects is increasing every day. Then these properties detract the quality of life as well as the economic opportunities of those living around them. Because where you find an abandoned project, the site is usually ugly, the environment very unhealthy. Then the number of building projects being abandoned in developing countries such as Nigeria is alarming and has to be addressed as quickly as possible, since it is becoming acceptable behavior in our society. You find a lot of uncompleted buildings in Nigeria, even in the cities. Ibadan is a major city in Nigeria, yet you find abandoned buildings everywhere. So ultimately, to achieve citywide economic development goals, it is important to prevent the occurrence of project failure and abandonment, minimize the harm done by vacant and abandoned properties, and very importantly, restoring these properties to productive use are priorities, and that is recovery project management. Now, the aim of this study is to assess the causes, the effects, and project recovery strategies for failed and abandoned building projects with a view to enhancing recovery project management. And the objectives are to evaluate the factors responsible for building project abandonment in Ibadan, your state, to ascertain the effects of abandoned building projects in Ibadan, or your state, to unravel the strategies that can be deployed in recovering abandoned building projects in Ibadan, Oyo State. Now, we try to pose these research questions, and they are: what are the factors responsible for multi-story residential building abandonment in Ibadan, Oyo State? What are the effects of failed and abandoned multi-story buildings in Ibadan, Oyo State? Then what are the strategies that can be deployed in recovering failed and abandoned building projects in Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria? The significance of this study is that this study has particular ramifications for improving multi-story building project management in Nigeria, which is anticipated to enhance project delivery in the construction field. Then it will help in identifying causes and effects of project failures and abandonment, and as well as the proposed recovery for this problem. So by ways of establishing the approaches to preventing, managing, and recovering failed and abandoned building projects. The scope of this study is that the probability of building project failure and abandonment is increased by the complexity of the project as regards the floor levels. This study seeks to focus on just the multi-story buildings in Ibadan, excluding other forms of building projects in Ibadan. And also, we limited this study to the Ibadan city. There are other cities too within Oyo State, but we are limiting this study to Ibadan, the state capital. Now, EI and Benabo 2014, they argued that abandoning development projects entails completely avoiding achieving the project goals and detracting all social, environmental, and economic activities that are anticipated to benefit directly or indirectly from the successful completion of the project. Spellman also defined project abandonment in 1993 as the act of ceasing any maintenance work or activity on a building project within the time frame specified in the contract agreement with no intention of returning to the development. And this is the act of abandoning the project. The lack of intention to return is a requirement for project abandonment, but other authors do not emphasize